Welcome to the Heroes of the Vale. I am Todd Kenrick. I am taking over the Dungeon Master duties for Mike Merles. In truth, I destroyed Mike Merles. I wanted this job so much, so I've gotten rid of Mike Merles, and now I am in charge, and it's going to be a TPK right off the top, everyone. Sorry, I just can't wait to destroy the world. So, thank you everyone for watching. We have an amazing cast. I am delighted to be amongst them, and I probably shouldn't be as perfect as I am. So let's dive right in. We also have a new castmate. I want to introduce Jen, who is
Hi.
a fantastic actress and also a giant D&D fan. Say hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm so unbelievably excited to be here and just thrilled to be part of this. Just over the moon. And cannot wait to adventure with everyone and get going. Let's go.
We are very excited to have you. Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be fun. I hope. If not, then, well, that's on me. Previously on Heroes of the Vale, a Count Revnik bailed everyone out of prison because we looked all kind of shady in the town of Fallcrest, and so we were put in prison for various infractions. I'm guessing some of them were misunderstandings, like Briv maybe didn't know the right way to say something and insulted the town's guard. I'm sure Keen ate apples that he didn't buy. Averin probably stole everything and got in trouble for something he was supposed to get in trouble for. So, us all being in prison, we were bailed out by this count. And we went to this tower that seemed to be manufactured by magic itself. And he told us that we had to fight the embodiment of ruin. And once we had done so, we would take a card and place it on ruin, and it would absorb his essence. And through various arcana checks, we all realized that this is part of the deck of many things. For those that don't know, this deck has caused so much trouble throughout the years for so many universes. And we are now part of that tale. So now we have been sent out to the town of Karis Dawn, which used to be a silver mine, to seek out this creature Ruin, to defeat him. And the town is completely absent of anything valuable, not only in terms of gold or silver, but also in terms of knowledge, in terms of anything that you would find of worth. And we arrived. The character Averin, who I was playing at the time, instigated a somewhat coup with a bunch of Shadowfell horrific monsters, which we found out by holding a mirror up to their faces. These ghastly monsters with long fangs and twisted forms. And then very soon, after announcing that Averin was the king, we brought Ruin out. And Ruin immediately dismissed all of our efforts to create a Shadowfell army of creatures. In the blink of an eye, those creatures disappeared, and Ruin showed up holding a bowl and a stick. A hunched over old man, slightly quivering and shaking, and angered by the fact that we would possibly try to ruin his plans. And so he forced up out of the library we had spent a lot of time in, destroying the library and turning it into a giant stone golem made out of books and scrolls and, more importantly, stone, which is currently beating the crap out of Briv. Briv's taking it like a champ. And that is where we find our adventure right now. So let's begin. Is everyone ready?
We are ready.
Combat.
Do we have a choice? Can we take another
You have
siesta?
no choice. I'm in control now. It is Ruin's turn. He's taking a legendary action. He's like, he turns to all of you and says, "Do you think you tiny little mortals would stop Ruin? I am the embodiment of destruction. You are nothing to me." And black ooze starts creeping up through the cobblestones and the rocks, and it's this kind of gelatinous black ooze, and you can start to kind of feel your shoes sizzle and burn as this black oil starts to erupt from the ground around everyone. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
12.
12. 19.
19. Anyone else? Anyone over 12?
I guess just me. Oh, jeez.
TJ?
Oh, no.
How we do? Oh yeah, TJ's not there yet, and neither is Jen.
No. Nope.
All right.
It's just the three of us.
Everyone who
If we
got
try.
12, you take 7 points of acid damage. Lauren, you take 3.
It's the worst,
And
though,
you-
because Orkira isn't wearing shoes because she's got these big dragonborn feet. So it's
This
just...
is-
Oh, her claws are now all, like, nicely shined, but her feet just... Oh, it's...
Oh, you can feel your scales on the bottom of Okira's feet start to like peel and crisp away.
I bet that smells good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing-
no, this is the worst. This is the
nothing like
worst.
the scent of a cooked Okira. Yeah, it's gonna be it's definitely more uncomfortable. And Briv, you're back. You're currently on your back fighting this giant stone monolith, which is about 4 stories tall. And every second that goes by, it globs onto another nearby building and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. At this moment, 2 things happen. 1, TJ, your character, Keen just boofs into the primary material plane. And just you feel the fabric between the Feywild and the primary material plane just kind of like erupt and tear for a moment, and you jump through. Let me know how you land. Do you do any type of special Keen-like landing?
Of course, I do a double backflip with a half twist.
Yes!
That's
Go off.
Of course!
Like one does.
Which is amazing if there wasn't already a 3-story stone golem in the ground in the air, very close to your situation, which is quite shocking. At the same time, those who go ahead and roll a few perception checks, everyone.
Five.
4.
13.
Well done, Briv. 13.
3.
3.
We're all staring at Keen, and Keen's staring at us.
Keen!
It's hard to look around when you're doing like backflips. You know?
Ooh, yeah, this backflip was amazing. At the same time, though, Akira notices like you kind of get a terrible feeling. You see some of the brush being moved out of the way. Something is moving through the trees in the distance. Your keen dragonborn eyes senses something is peering through the foliage. And at that moment, you see Jen's character. Jen, describe your character.
You see these 2 emerald eyes just staring through, and glints of gold flicker through as the light hits them. But they're really the only brightness you see. Everything else is very, almost icy white, but with a hint of blue. Her skin, her hair. You see long pointed ears. She is wearing silver armor. And there is a necklace with a scroll on it around her neck. And she looks up, and overhead you hear the screech of an owl as it swoops down. A brown owl.
Fantastic. And at this moment is now Hope's turn. Ruin, who is an elderly, kind of 5'8" tall, old, shrunken, shriveled man. He's still holding his walking staff and holding a bowl in his other hand. Just glares with pure hatred at you, expecting to destroy you. And he has no fear. He has no trepidation at all that you can possibly defeat him.
Okay, well first, ow. I'm gonna use a move action to try to hop on maybe a rock or something to make sure I get out of the awful oil, and then I'm gonna be digging in my bag and trying to pull out stuff and finding, finally, iridescent rock and some seeds and, okay, you can do this. Penelope, your friends need you. And I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, with the bravery of Sehanin, I cast upon you my moonbeam. And I cast moonbeam upon him.
All right, and okay. What does moonbeam do?
So a silvery beam of pale light shines down at a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on the point of range, which would be Ruin. And that creature must make a con save against a 12. And it will be engulfed in ghostly flames and searing pain. So,
Are there any additional effects?
It'll take a 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful.
I am sorry. He got a critical 20. Yeah, he got a critical, critical success.
Jeez.
So the moonlight light just engulfs him and is like, you think your magic would affect me?
Oh no! I duck
Were
behind
there
the
any
rock
side
and hide.
effects to that, even if they succeed?
I mean, I don't know if about a crit 20. I would say it's half as much damage on a successful save.
Okay,
so
go ahead and roll your damage.
that is 6. That would be 8 points of damage, so 4 at half.
Okay. All right. So he takes 4 points of damage from the moonbeam. Also, when the moonbeam strikes him in the face, you see his face kind of contort and shift. Eyes, like an eye goes up to here, and his jaw lowers all the way down to his stomach, and his ears elongate, and everything just stops and twists and shifts until the moonbeam stops, causing him damage. It's just this tremendously horrifying transformation. Like, something about Ruin is not what Ruin appears to be.
A shape changer, maybe. Oh no!
All
I can't
right.
protect my friends.
And now, in initiative order, we are now at Flapper. Flapper is flying above and flap with her bugle and says, "I'm sorry, guys. This is just all too much for me. Please don't think less of me." And you
Oh, we
just see
must be
Flapper in the
brave.
distance.
I must say, what the hell is going on? Why is there a building fighting us? And why is this bird yelling? And why are you fighting an old man? And why is he no longer an old man? And why are you on a rock? And why am I standing in... Oh, shit.
This is Ruin. We'll worry about the rest later. This is Ruin.
Canst thou just stay here, Keen? We need thine help.
Very good. May I roll initiative to join this battle?
It is already your initiative. You are next.
Penelope, is this our enemy?
Yes, it's our enemy, the old man. Please hit the old man, please.
I run up the leg of the large thing to jump on the little man.
All right, the little man is not on top of it, but currently you do see this rubble that is made out of rock and stones and scrolls and all kinds of strange items, just trying to pound Briv over and over and over again. And Briv is just not really having any of it. Briv is just holding his shield, and it's this thing is just like,
Ugh.
and like you get the sense that Briv is getting kind of either shorter or deeper into the ground as it's happening. So,
as I use the large man as a runway, I run up its leg and jump off. Are you okay, Bree?
make me
Never better.
Either make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
18.
All right, you just Legolas this thing. You just run up its leg, hop off its kneecap onto its elbow. You run up its shoulder. So describe the rest to me that you do right now.
I am only looking to see that my friend that is under his fist is okay. Never better, never better. And I leave him to fight. And then I jump on the old man while I whisper the words of the green flame blade.
All right, you are on top of the golem, and you will not be able to get to Ruin. Ruin is about, I would say, 60 feet from where you are. But you can attack the stone golem if you want.
I will do that while I'm here. I'll drag my blade along its back.
Okay.
I'm a class 16.
You hit.
Uh, 7 points from my weapon and 5 from the green flame blade.
Okay, and where were you striking? The head?
I was just dragging it along my path. He is not my target.
Okay, yeah, you were just,
behind
doing
me.
the run by and scraping your sword along the back of its head and jumping.
Yes.
Okay. You do so. And make me one more acrobatics check, just make sure you don't biff the landing, if you don't mind.
Keen's got this.
11.
It's not your finest work. It's like a hop.
I just arrived. I was not expecting this.
Jet lag.
Meanwhile, an unintended effect on the giant stone golem is that all the books and all the scrolls that were making up the body of this stone golem have caught fire. So now the golem is filled with green flame and stone. And it is now Alindra's trip. Alindra, it is your turn.
I will. I have foreseen this moment. And I will point to the creature, the larger creature. And I say, collapse. And because I have foreseen this moment, it will take a 3 on its roll with a portent.
Portents.
Nice.
So I'm using a command, and I'm substituting its save for a portent with a 3. I had a 3 and a 16 as my portents for the day.
Oh, wow.
I like her. Can we keep her? This is great.
She's my new friend.
Yeah.
Briv, as this thing is rearing back now that its fist is made out of flame and stone, it's making sure all the pointy stones now are facing you. Come swinging down, and you just hear this elven voice say, I have foreseen this moment. Collapse! And it just looks over at Alindra like, huh? And the rocks just peel off of its face, and it all falls down. Unfortunately, it all falls down on you, Briv.
Oh, Briv!
As he disassembles and falls apart in a cascade of rock and stone.
I shall be all right, never fear.
Briv, make a dexterity check.
Oh, I'm not moving. That probably... Oh, a 20. I rolled a 20 on the die, so that's a 22.
On a dexterity check?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I want everyone to
Wild
remember the
rock to
moment that
pile on
Briv
him.
got a 20 on a dexterity check.
It's a 22, actually. 20 on the die.
Awesome.
Is it critical 20?
Yes, it sure is.
Oh, okay. Briv just like stands up Captain America style, grabs his shield, and just rolls out of the way as the stones like clobber onto the ground, and he almost kind of surfs it a little bit off the crumbling rock.
And then I want to be sure to point very intentionally at the newfound supposedly ally here and just kind of do a head nod. And then I turn my attention to Ruin.
All right. At this moment, you hear Ruin, "No! What have you done? You will be the first one to die!"
Where does my owl fall in this lineup? Great.
If you would like to have your owl do something, I'm going to go and say, just for the sake of like simplicity, it's going to be your turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you
then
wanted to take a help action or anything like that,
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
I will go ahead and allow
Swoop
you to do
over.
it now. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. And I'm going to have it swoop over toward Ruin and hang out and help.
Okay. So it's just going to be, is the owl going to be making dive bomb attacks?
Absolutely.
And stuff like
It's swirling around, distracting.
that?
keeping
Okay.
it
And what is your
occupied.
owl's
So-
name?
Griff.
Griff the owl. All right, very important. All right, so we are back to Avron, who is running as fast as he can directly at Ruin. He closes the last 30 feet. He was 60 feet before, and he has 3 mirror images running with him. So you basically see 4 Avrons just running at Ruin, having just passed the card to Akira. He has an illusionary card in all of his hands as he's trying to slap Ruin with that. So Avron is going to make his attack.
It's a slap
And he got to. So Avron just looks really cool, and all of him misses with his greatsword. He like tries to do this awesome like Conan the Barbarian swing and just kind of just like whiffs his beard. And you see Ruin's beard just kind of go whoosh into the air as he is highly ineffectual in this act. We are now on to Ruin again. You may have destroyed my stone golem, but I can make even more. Your magic is useless and pathetic. And he stamps his staff onto the ground again, and the ooze starts to rise more, but then all of the buildings in Fall Crest crumble and start forming stone golems themselves. They start building themselves up all around you. You are now surrounded by, they're not fully assembled, but they are coming to life at this moment. For those who have shoes, you are still taking some burning damage on your shoes. However, Okira, I'm sorry, you are going to have to make a saving throw not to get burnt.
Oh, that's exciting. What kind of saving throw?
I want you to make a dex saving throw.
All right.
The floor is lava. So-
16.
You do fine. You are
good.
hopscotching around and
The most
avoiding the
undignified of
burning
clerics.
black acid that is occurring right now. So that brings us to Briv. What are you doing? Briv is at full health currently, thanks to his not action surge, but his what's that fighter ability?
I took some of the acid damage, so I'm down to 24.
Okay.
Yeah. But I survey the rest of the town here, and I see some of these stone creatures begin to come together. And then I look between the rubble at my feet and then look back to Ruin and simply, as loud as I can to the group, just call out, "New strategy! Cut the head off the snake!" And I start just rushing towards Ruin, and I'm going to go ahead and do a dash where hopefully I can get there. I'm hoping. So 60 feet of movement.
Yes, you can do it.
Okay. So all
breaking
I'm
a
doing.
sweat.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm huffing it in my heavy armor. I get up into his face, and then I am simply taking up a threatening position if I possibly can. I'm really looking for if he's going to cast a spell or not.
Okay, and that's your action.
Yes.
Okay. Okara, is now your turn.
Okay. So she'll lock eyes with this elf, see the action that's taken place, and okay, a friend. And she'll hop, skip, and jump closer to Ruin. If I remember correctly, she was within like 20 or 30 feet. She was pretty close.
You were. You can close the distance.
How hurt does Ruin look?
Not very. But it's hard to
Great.
tell.
Fair enough. All right. I would like to maneuver around so that I am. How close do I need to be to do this? I want to be within 15 feet of Ruin, but I'm gonna. I'm gonna breathe on him, and I'm gonna let loose a gallon of flame. But it's a 15-foot cone. If I remember, I'm looking it up. So I want to make sure that I can position myself so that I'm only hitting Ruin and not any of my friends who are now swarming. Can
As all of us who have ever been in college, you can easily like direct that. So
Okay.
you can do your breath weapon and just kind of like funnel that right directly at Ruin. I'm going to allow it.
Excellent. So he needs to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 12. He will take some
He does
damage
not.
even if it's DC. Excellent.
He just kind of like sneers at you at the same time. Dragonborn, you can't do. And just his beard starts waving around his face as it starts to catch fire, and his eyebrows burn to cinders, and his hair kind of cooks away as well.
Yep.
You don't know what he's
Yeah,
gonna say, but it was gonna be great. And
No, I'm too busy blessing him with Palor's light.
how much damage did you do? How much damage? Roll your damage.
That was 8 fire damage.
8 fire
And-
damage. He takes 8 fire damage, and Ruin is no longer amused. He clearly is now incensed, and you feel like almost the fire that you burned at his face is now glowing in his actual pupils at this point.
He's not
So-
the only one that's not having fun. As a very quick bonus action, as I'm still 15 feet away from him, and I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to cast a very quick healing word as a bonus action on myself, because ow, 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 and then I'll be done. So that's just 4 that I'll get back, but... And
Okay.
yeah, now I just have the card in my hand, just kind of like behind my back, just waiting for a moment.
And you are right. I did up Briv's actual action a little bit, but that's fine. That's on me. So now we are on to Ruin taking a legendary action. I am no longer amused by any of you worthless individuals, and now it is truly time for you to die. He reaches out and scrapes his gnarly yellow crusted nails down Briv's shield. And you can almost hear not only the sound of like iron-like talons, but even ooze melting into the
I
Griffin
fear no
shield.
tetanus.
If you like defending these people so much, Briv, then you will defend all of them. And he reaches his hands up into the air, and you just hear the smashing of glass all over the town. And a swarm of glass erupts into the sky and heads directly for Briv. All of it. In one just tunneling storm of razor cuts. Briv? What is your armor class?
The armor class is. I thought you were going to ask for a save there. Armor class is 20.
Your armor class is 20.
Mhm.
Is now 21.
Why so?
He has cursed your shield.
Curse my shield.
Your shield itself has been cursed, but consequently is slightly more powerful. So
I shall take it.
And what did you say your AC was?
21.
Okay, well, the glass shards all rattle against again and again and again against the shield, and they may manage to miss you. You get some paper cuts, you get some slashes on the top of your head, but you don't take any appreciable damage. But every single piece of this glass strikes the front of the shield to the point where you're almost surrounded by glass at this point. That's his legendary action. We are now back to Hope.
Well, my moonbeam is still in effect, so he'll still have to make a con save against 12 for that. It's just beaming down, and Penelope is hiding behind a rock and just, ooh, Sahani, please help me.
He succeeds his con save, so what is your damage?
That is... It's half, so 6 points.
6 points of damage. He takes 6 points of damage. All right. That is your action, and you're like cowering behind a wall at the same time?
Yeah, with these multiple monsters growing, I'm thinking, Kane, should we just run? Maybe we should just run. I feel we're outnumbered.
Yes, but we will run towards the danger.
Oh.
I charge.
Huzzah!
All
A
right.
little bit of glass gets in my mouth.
It is now Flapper's
Crunch,
turn in the distance,
crunch.
even further away. I'm really sorry. I hope you succeed.
I thought we were friends.
It is now.
I never got to meet your badger.
It's. Can we get that as merch? It is now Keen's turn.
All right. I am trying to understand what's happening. Is there glass flying around Briv and debris, or is it flying at him?
Is absolutely insane. There is just as if when you see birds fly in unison, you are seeing glass fly above the town and all culminate into what is essentially a giant glass tentacle, and it's all smacking Briv's shield over and over and over again. And Briv isn't taking any appreciable damage, though it's shaking the complete, mind out of him a little bit. Teeth are getting loosened just from the effort of taking this, sustaining this damage.
I am taking full advantage of all of this chaos. I am from the Feywild, and this is what we call Tuesday. I leap hard through the air, and I use the full momentum of my last movement to go my full distance. Then I speak the words of the green flame blade. Then I face step as a bonus action. And then I get behind him and strike.
Okay, you are attacking Ruin?
I am.
All right, roll to hit.
Um, 22 or 19.
Wow. Okay. Big rollers today.
We need
you
it.
strike. Roll your damage.
10 from my glaive. And from the green flame, it is 5. And as a result of my Eladrin heritage, I am the Eladrin of the spring. When I touch him, it is his ability to pop into another place from my teleport. I teleport him 30 feet in front of me, directly between the glass tentacle and Briv's shield. directly between them.
Keen,
Save
we've
associated with
missed you
this?
so much.
Is there any save?
When you use your phase step, you can touch one willing creature within 5 feet of you. Oh, one willing creature. Crap. I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Can he be willing? It sounds like fun.
No. No.
Oh, so close.
No.
I have no one else to touch. There's no one there.
Oh, that breaks my heart, though.
That would have been
That
awesome.
was so good.
That would have been fun.
Oh wow! I am sorry. I cannot allow that.
My bad.
No, but well done and lots of damage. And you plant your glaive right into the belly of the old man, and he looks genuinely surprised. And you can feel your glaive start to the metal on it to start to rust and rot. Just as it's even touching him, he's like, "You, all of you, will not be the death of me." And now, it is Alindra.
Is he? Does he seem to be controlling all of the? He seems to be controlling all of the things that are coming up all throughout.
Yes.
Yes. And did he seem to be distracted by the pain of the injury?
Extremely distracted, yes.
Excellent. I believe that I will point to him. And as I do, there is an echo of a bell. It's comforting to us, and to him, it is quite terrifying. I cast Toll the Dead.
Okay. What's the save for that?
It is a Wisdom save, DC 11.
DC 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He succeeds. Is there any damage if he succeeds?
No.
He just kind of,
Alas.
even though he's got a glaive in his stomach, he's just like,
He also has. Is he going to get disadvantage from being distracted by Griff as well?
I will allow that. I will allow some, and it
Keen.
still didn't work.
And everybody's stabbing up.
It still didn't work, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
darn. I tried.
You always gotta hustle. You gotta try. All right, it is now
I do not
Avron's
like
turn.
this person.
Avron's like, I meant to miss. I'm going to get it right this time. And he's swinging his greatsword one more time. And he hits. And he does a whopping 7 points of damage. So Avron just kind of slashes at his knees for a second and looks very proud of himself. And he's just like... And right then... And yeah, so now blood is coming out of the knees of Ruin, and he is just his breathing is labored, his hair is still burning and singed. He's just all of rage, and his face starts kind of twisting and manipulating in front of you, and you now feel like the giant stone creatures are shaking the ground, and they have now surrounded everyone. At this moment, Ruin points to Avron and says, "Die." And at that very moment, Avron, at the center of all of his illusions, falls down limp, dead. And one by one, each of his illusions that were surrounding him look genuinely surprised and fade. And you see
What about the oil?
the dead Avron's body's just in the oil, dead.
Oh, no, not on my watch, no.
It is now Riv's turn.
All right, so I am. I'm within melee range of Ruin at this point.
Yes,
right?
you are.
With the glass swirling
yeah.
around. So
And he's run out of glass.
say again.
He's run out of glass. There's no more glass in town.
All right, so that's going on. So I point my sword at him, still keeping the shield up to hopefully get rid of most of that glass, and mark him by just simply saying, "Thou hast anointed me protector of all. Thine beef is with me only." And I'm basically just trying to get him to fight just me as much as I can. And
Okay.
I'm going to attack. And that is a 17 to hit.
You hit him.
Okay, so that hit and deals. That's 11 points of damage.
Yes.
And he is now marked. So if he attacks anyone else until my next turn, he's going to be at disadvantage for that.
Okay. You strike. You do actually strike his body. Where do you want to strike him?
I am trying to slide under the rib cage.
Okay. So now, the glaive is in his belly, and now you slide the blade into his rib cage as well. And Ruin seems even more weaker, to the point where there's cracks in his skin. You can almost see light glowing between the cracks in his skin, and his teeth start falling out. What was keeping him together, what's keeping him a form, and he becomes even more insidious and hideous and angry and full of rage. You can feel this rage waft over you, and you feel despair and darkness coming from this thing. Now
Victory is nigh.
Now is Okira's turn.
All right. Kira's got the card in one hand and her shield in the other. And the first thing she's going to do is she's going to point at her friend lying on the ground and cast Healing Word on him.
Describe to me healing word.
Well, right now, Healing Word is my world. Yeah. She barks out in Dragonborn, and it sounds like Klingon, but it's mostly just her saying peace, and he's gonna immediately get 3 points of health back. So if he's down, it should bring him back up. And she can do that from 60 feet away as a bonus action. So she just points at him and basically sends healing his way.
It has no effect.
How far
and you
away
see
is he
that
from?
Avron's face is completely pale and haggard, and his eyes are sunken in. There is no life force left in him.
How far away is he from me?
Avron? Not
Yes.
far. He's right next to you.
Okay. She'll do that. She's going to be pissed off it doesn't work. Look over at Ruin and say, "You need to be gone now." And she'll close the distance, and with her action, she'll touch him with the card and hope that he's
All right.
injured enough.
Make an attack action.
Would you? Okay. Strength, dexterity.
okay.
Am I proficient in this?
I feel like Dex.
Okay.
Jen?
Yes.
Is Alendra doing something?
No, I can't do the thing I was
Okay.
going to do.
Okay. So I rolled a 15. So it's a +1 for my dexterity is 16. Am I proficient in cards?
Yes, you're proficient in cards.
Excellent. So that's an 18.
All right. How do you want to do this?
I'm like, okay, so she's pointed at the body of Avron and her healing hasn't worked, and that makes her furious. And so she's still looking at his body, and she just presses the card like edge side directly at him, just like stabbing him with the card. But she's still staring down at her friend on the ground.
Where do you stab the card?
Right in his chest. Just
Right in his chest?
yeah.
Just inserting it right in.
Slot right there.
You strike him and you just
Where his heart
shove the
should
card
be.
right into his chest. And you see it absorb, and all the cracks in Ruin's body start glowing and shuddering, and his teeth start collapsing into his own mouth, being sucked into some void that is occurring, and his eyes roll back and disappear as well. And he just kind of moves and shakes and screams and tries to lash out and just shrivels up into the card. And all of the stone giants fall to the ground into rubble. And all the glass stops moving and the ooze gets sucked back into the earth itself. And there is just this, your eardrums pop as if the atmosphere itself has changed as a blast wave moves past all of you. And Ruin is just a card on the ground in the rubble.
Penelope runs over to Avron. Avron, King Avron, you've got to get up now. It's Princess Penelope. Please get up. Get up. Avron.
His body is lifeless.
Keen, what happened?
The circle of life. This card has taken its due. And I slam my glaive on the floor and create the green flame blade again. And I'll touch it to the card. This card has seen its end.
Is anyone preventing Keen from doing this?
Briv actually just crosses his arms and waits to see what happens.
Rakira is still focused on Avron. She doesn't care what happens to that card now.
The card burns. Green fire erupts around the card and starts sizzling. You see the card of ruin, which now the face of the card is a ruined town, and it starts peeling at the edges, and you can see the magic from inside kind of sparkling and crackling, much as Ruin did himself, and just fold up on itself, and just a burst of magic appears, and green sparkles and flames just go all the way up into the heavens as you do so.
Ashes to ashes. I will pick up our fallen, if I may. What should I do with him, Okira?
Wait,
She would like to. Is there any check that she can do to see if any of she'll cast Spare the Dying? She'll try to cast another healing spell on him again. What does she need to do to check to see what she can do to fix this?
There's nothing coming off of him. His life force was extinguished.
Avron, you were supposed to finish your story for me.
he was my friend. What do we do now?
Okira will just start saying a prayer to Paylor about may his soul find rest in his afterlife.
He was a brave hero.
Well, for the week I knew him, it seems as though he lived his life with boldness indeed.
I know where to bury him. I will bury him where I bury the gold tree. He will help nourish it, for he taught me the way of this world. And I go
think he
to
would
the
like
place.
that very much.
I go to the place where he buried his gold tree, and I too buried mine, and I begin to dig.
Perhaps
Oh,
a new
yeah.
Avrin will grow out of this.
That is a
That
good
would-
thought.
No, that's creepy. Let's no. I'm gonna.
Penelope will say a little nature prayer and plant a small tree of some sort that will grow with him.
All right, you dig up Averin's hole where you find much of his possessions. You find 8 gold pieces. You find some strange items as well. You find something that most of you don't recognize, but Alindra, you do. There is a strange rod with a trigger on it and a handle. It's clearly a pistol, which none of you have ever seen before. There's a small glass orb as well they had buried, and a locket that has the picture of a tiny gnome woman with red hair.
Who is she?
We must return these things to her, no?
Does anyone know who she is? Did he ever mention this person?
Where was he from?
Did he never mentioned her, right?
No. There was a lot we didn't know about him. We didn't even get a chance.
He was from far.
Oh, I don't care. I'll go to Far. I'll go to Far and I'll take him. They'll take his things to this woman. I promise. I'll make it my mission.
Thou wilt traverse the fens and swamps around this place that will turn thine feet into ash just to return a locket?
Wouldn't you do that for your friend?
He was your friend. We knew him but a week. He has fallen in battle bravely. We shall honor his memory by helping right wrongs here in this region.
Okay, well, I still take his stuff, just in case.
And you hear in your voice, Penelope, you are kind, young one.
Okira will finish her prayers and finally turn to Alindra and say, "Forgive our grief. We never had a chance
There
to
is
thank
nothing
you
to
for
forgive.
your help."
Who art
This is
thou?
what anyone would do. My name is Alindra Alexandria Garana Hill Saraband, Lordkeeper of Rhyme Spiro, Kinscribe of Clan Monkey Mouse. And you? Names, patronymics, by names, trades, place names, honorifics, clans, orders, titles, preferred names, pronouns, she, her, they, them, your preference. Things don't translate.
I shall call thee Al.
Al is fine.
Owl. Owl, I like that.
No, I meant
Oh,
Al, like Alindra. But you know, she has an owl, so
I'll call her
that makes
Owl.
sense as well.
oh, that's Griff. Griff is...
The owl is Griff, and you are Owl.
All right. And Alindra takes out a
that'd
book
be
and
perfect.
writes it down. Owl is Griff. Griff is Owl?
Yes.
No,
yes.
I am Owl. I'm sorry,
Griff?
could you repeat that?
Griff
I
is
wanna
an
make
owl
sure
who
I
is a
get
Griff,
this-
and you are a woman who's Alindra, but who's also Owl. It makes sense to me.
Oh,
And me,
all right.
I'm Penelope. I'm Penelope. Penelope Halfpint. Except for Halfpint's not my real name. It's a name I got this one time drinking at a pub where I drank a whole half pint of mead. Except for I didn't drink the whole half pint. It was half of a whole pint, but I still drank the whole half of it.
Oh! Excellent!
Do you want to be my friend? I need a new friend.
Absolutely.
What a relief.
Alindra, it is very nice to meet you. Thank you once again for your help. I am Orkira of the clan Ildrix. What brought you to this town?
Study. That's what I do. I study people, cultures, things that are different from what I've seen before.
This place is definitely different.
It's very different.
Mm.
And you?
I am called Briv Steelmarrow. My friends call me Briv the Bold. You may call me Briv the Beautiful. Briv
Very beautiful.
Sure,
You're very beautiful.
that shall work.
River the Beautiful, Okira of Clan Ildrix, Penelope Half-Pint, who once was drinking a pint that was a full pint, but it was half a pint of a full pint. Is that correct so far?
Yes, but you could just call me Penelope the Brave. Yeah,
Penelope
yeah, I like that
the
better.
Brave. Right,
Yeah,
Penelope the
that's me.
Brave.
I'm very
That
brave.
seems made up.
It's not made up. I'm very
Oh,
think-
of course not.
I think if the last battle proved anything,
If someone wants
she's
to be
earned
called
that
by a
title.
name, they should be called by the name they wish to be called.
No,
Like Briv
No,
the
Akira's right.
Beautiful.
Brave the beautiful. Penelope the brave. Okira the bird person. But
Dragon, dear. Our
Dragon.
bird person decided to take a
Drag-
small flight.
oh, I'm sorry. You guys look so much alike. Everyone's so tall. You all look the same from here.
Will this help? And Orkira will get on her knees next to Penelope and like put her clawed hand on her shoulder and say, "It's gonna be okay."
I gotta place
Promise.
my hand on Keen's shoulder and start to try to help him dig. I imagine we do not have a shovel. Briv certainly does not have one. And so he just starts to take his sword and kind of stab into the ground and just grab chunks of it with his hands and start moving it.
Penelope,
I've
in your head, Penelope, you hear, "My friend, you are not small. I am tall. And you are Talkesser."
My hair is now stark white and braided into a long queue. We have seen death, and this Eladrin is now in his winter phase. All things must come to an end. I am Keen Vethorin Deapreth, knight to be of the Eladrin. Now leave me as I bury my friend.
Oh,
With blessings.
I'll help. Penelope starts like digging with her little hands next to his shovel.
Orkira
Start to
rummages
wipe
around
the
in her
bits
pack.
of glass off, and without any concern for getting it. So basically, just little streaks of blood are going all over my arms and everything. But I cannot stand glass, and so therefore, I want that off of me, no matter what it does to me.
Okay.
Okira reaches into her bag and kind of rummages around a little bit and pulls out one of those little like the shovels that you use when you go camping, like those tiny little ones. Not something that would really be a ton helpful, but she'll pull it out and she'll start helping.
All right. You finish digging the grave, and it is now deep enough next to Keen's own hole.
I place 8 small trees for gold from the 8 gold pieces that we found on him. They are not ours. They are his. They will grow once winter has passed. Lastly, we put him in the deep place. Your words, Okira, and I stand away.
Okira finishes a prayer, and it's mostly in Dragonborn, but she'll finish in common for everybody and say, "Paylor, guide this soul to his just rest. His body stays here, but who he is has gone. to greener fields and brighter suns. And she'll wipe off the dirt and start helping to finish the burial.
Okay. You finish burying him?
Goodbye, King Averin.
Okay.
He
you're
was a
finished.
good teacher. Ilindra, you are a lore master.
I am.
Will
You know
you
of us.
record the passing of this great warrior? He taught me
Of
to
course.
grow gold.
I can tell you all sorts of stories about him, and you can write them down.
I will. And I will ensure they are told.
Very well.
This makes me feel better.
Keen, do you check your possessions that you buried?
Ah, I forgot about that. I take a look to see if the mound is fresh.
Nope. I mean, it's only as you left it.
It will grow in time. These are the words of Averin, and I will expect to see it after winter is done.
Okira has this
I
moment where she's
mutter
like,
something under my breath about Averin never said a true word in his life, and I start to, as I start to walk away from the kind of congregation here, I just want to start walking back into the town, and I am going to search around, primarily seeing. I'm not interested in things because I know that it's been ruined, but primarily seeing if there was anybody alive that was hiding out here, you know, any other living creatures that might have been in the town, especially that might need help since the buildings just exploded on them. And then after that, what time of day is it roughly right now?
The sun is setting.
Yeah, do we see any sign of the gatekeeper or any of the other patrons?
You hear
Of the town?
whispers. You sense their presence again. But it's faint. And you feel like they're trying to come back to the town again. Now that ruin has disappeared. Briv, you search around and you do find an outlier. A strange creature with its hair almost in a top knot. Missing a nose and strange sharp teeth. Haggard skin and unusually thin, carrying an even more unusual blade. You've never seen a creature like this. It was crushed under some of the rubble. And it seems to be dressed in like black leathers that are somewhat bejeweled, but it's clearly dressed as a scout. But you've never seen an entity like this before in all your travels. It is now dead.
So I'm going to excavate the body, and I'm going to just throw it over my shoulder and start trying to find the rest of the group.
Okay.
And if it had any accessories, I want to make sure that I scoop those up too.
Okay.
Okira,
Yes.
do you hear the voices in the wind?
yes, it is disquieting. Do you think they'll return now that Ruin is gone?
Well, I mean, is
And
there
right then
anything we
you're-
could do?
Ruin is gone. Ruin is gone. You can come back.
Yes, I know. You don't have to tell me. See? It's weird. It's kind of annoying, actually.
If they're trying to come back, is that something that you could help with? You're a healer, aren't you? Of some sort?
I am, but if these are the same creatures from before, they're from the Shadowfell. They're from a different plane. I'm ill-equipped
I'm
to
sorry,
help.
they're what?
Yes,
were-
Miss Owl. Maybe you know how to help them.
There were creatures here that were from some other place that were pretending to be townspeople. They were pretending to be innkeepers and librarians and guards, and they had taken on a facade, but one that made them at least
And
not
they had
want
been
to
here for
attack
some
us.
time, or they were new?
I don't know. They were here when we got here, and
You hear a voice that says, "They're our heroes. They're the heroes of the Vale."
I guess you can just ask them yourself if you are
Wait.
better at listening
Did
to
you
them
hear
than I
that?
am.
Did they call us heroes of the Vale? Could that be true, Okira? Are we the heroes they speak of?
As I start to walk up with this body, I just simply say, "Of course we're heroes." Penelope,
We are?
what did you think we were doing here?
Helping people.
That makes us heroes. And then I say, you know that old saying where they say that every problem is an opportunity? And I just throw the body down on the ground as close to them as I can.
What is that? I start drawing the thing that
Do any of us recognize what that
the
is?
beautiful is carrying.
I was hoping thou would tell me what this
I
is.
need Arcana checks, I believe, from everyone.
Arcana?
From everyone?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead. No,
I'm going to say actually only Elindra and Keen.
So that would be a 25.
Wow. Everyone's rolling big numbers today.
Lore master.
7.
There you go.
Lord Keeper,
So,
I have not been elevated to that rank.
you
Yes.
realize that this is a part of an ancient race of creatures that were once human, called the Gith. No, you don't know all of the lore behind them, but you know that they were a race that was once enslaved by some unspeakable horror. That once had an ancient empire that spanned many worlds.
So, dost thou recognize it?
I do. I've never seen one before, but they are creatures called the Gith. They have quite a tragic past, but they had an entire civilization, and they were captured and enslaved.
By who?
Do I know?
You've seen cave paintings.
Okay.
Of these monstrous, twisted, tentacled-like creatures have enslaved many races, twisted them to their own means.
Do I know the name?
You know the name Illithid.
They're called the Illithid. They are horrific. I've heard different tales of them from different groups. Usually bits and pieces. Not many are left once they've come. They are
Where did
the fabric of nightmares.
Perhaps
Where did
they
he-
are the evil I hunt. Are they here?
They absolutely could be. Are they?
You mean you want to go after them?
Of course we do.
Anything that enslaves people. Anything that takes
Where are
something
they-
that belongs to another. They
Where are
need
they
to
usually
be eradicated.
from?
Do I know that?
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and say that you know pretty much all the knowledge of that.
Okay. What should I tell them?
That's up to your character.
Tell us everything.
Let me know how,
Don't
how
tell us the
much you
scary
want,
parts.
how deep you want to dig that grave with your knowledge.
I... I don't know exactly which lore you're using, so I don't want to get. They have cities. They have spread. I don't know where the nearest are. I don't look forward to finding out. But if there are people there, it is our job. It is our duty
As
to give them
heroes.
their lives back
Huzzah!
and to tell the stories.
Right. Because this is what heroes do, right? We go and we fight scary things, and we save the day, right?
Should we
That's
return
What
to
the
the
stories tell us.
Should we return to the Count first? Finish this task that has been set before us.
And tell him what?
We don't
That
have a card
Keen
to show
hath
him.
destroyed the card that he requested we return to him?
Yes.
But that means we'd have
I
to go
don't
through
think anyone-
Oakwood again. I don't want to go through there again.
Well, we can't stay here. Especially if those creatures are going to come back.
Yes, stay with us.
No.
We are heroes. And a kingdom
You are
needs
creepy.
heroes.
I think they're friendly.
It is creepy.
So we can't see them. We just hear the whispering, like, floating about.
You're
Yeah.
slowly starting to see them materialize like faint wisps in between the ruin.
I think it's best if these creatures are going to return that we let them live their lives the way that they want to. All we caused was confusion when we were asking questions that they should not answer. And they're creepy.
That's not very nice.
No, but it is true.
I am not the settling down type,
think
so
he's not
I shall be
necessarily-
on my way.
Well, how about we ask our owl friend, Miss Owl, where do you think we should go next?
If you have a task and you must return to inform them, then I think you should complete that. Otherwise, all we have to go on right now are these objects, yes?
Okay.
You don't have a direction, so I suppose the person who sent you here is the most likely source of that information.
You know
It's
what?
not safe to
Actually,
be out.
she makes a good point because we could go back and then we're there in the safety of the Vale again.
Brave warrior, where did you find this creature?
I point at first. I see that likely does not satisfy his curiosity, and so then I start to walk and then kind of motion him over and demonstrate where I found it.
Perhaps we should have another look around to see if there are others like this. If we are satisfied, then we will leave in the morning when it is safest.
When you look around, you find no evidence of any other creatures of this kind. On his person, you've never seen armor quite like this. You do find a curved short dagger, as well as a long serrated sword. Amongst his other items is a crystal cylinder, which is unusual, has a gleam to it, and it's a perfect crystal. As well as if you roll an Arcana check, whoever is magically inclined, who has dealt with many magical items.
That's another 25.
What? Okay.
2 18s in a row.
And 22.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Lindra
That's how
and
Kessa
Keen,
have
you
studied.
immediately notice this is some kind of more advanced form of sending stone, but you're not entirely clear how to operate it. But it is a form of communication.
I give this to the lawkeeper. She can study it. I,
And I
on the
shall.
other hand, take a look at this blade. I want to know how they bring war.
It is perfectly balanced. This is one of the best blades you have ever laid your hands on in your entire life.
Far too tiny.
I will keep it close for further study.
Okay.
And the armor, does it protect you from slashing or poking or bludgeoning?
Yes, most
How
definitely.
do they fight? Metal?
It is a type of metal. Yes.
Interesting.
What type
Is
of
it
metal?
stronger than mine? Would it fit?
Yes.
I will try it.
Keen's frame. It is definitely meant for, well, you being an Eladrin, I think it would fit you actually quite well.
I am tall, slim-ish.
Yeah. Okay, the armor does fit you. You do look different, being in this very kind of alien-looking armor. But the armor does fit quite well, considering your frame.
Is their technology for war impressive, or is this a showpiece?
Well, this is finely made.
I will wear it for a time to learn its weaknesses. The winter must know.
Perfect. Yes.
So there's no other bodies. It's just this one creature.
Just this one creature.
Okay. While Keen is playing dress up, Okira will lay out the body, and she won't do like the full burial, but she'll also do a simple prayer to Paylor, and this is all we can do for this creature. I don't even.
I know I don't
his
know
name.
much about the Gith, but do I know anything of their rites, their funerary rites, or their gods?
No, you don't know. You don't know.
Would
No,
I?
I will say you don't know that. No, you do not. Definitely,
Oh.
Okira does not
Okay.
know.
And I'll keep it like super simple, like respectful kind of thing. Paylor just slips in there because Paylor slips in everywhere, but one of those like very, very
It's
of
non-denominational.
exactly super like, hey, I hope you go to whatever rest you are hoping for, and may Paylor help you because Paylor helps everybody because he's kind of awesome. But we're really sorry we weren't able to help you. That kind of thing.
Okay. Perfect. Everyone make a perception check.
Sure.
15.
Ooh. 23.
21.
Who got
14.
a 23?
I
am
have a
looking at
decent
myself
perception.
in the armor.
Okira, with your keen dragonborn eyes, way in the distance, you feel like you see something up high in the pine trees, almost half a mile in the distance, move. And then
Is it Flapper?
whatever it is.
Is that Flapper?
No. Definitely not Flapper.
All right. It
Did I
moves.
see it?
It moves away. It moves.
It's almost as if the leaves themselves kind of shifted. Something felt unnatural. High in the pine trees, all the way at the top.
Alindra, did you come alone?
No. There were others. Did I see what happened there? It was
No.
a 21. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unless you got a natural 20.
No.
Okira's gonna point and say, "Then we are being watched by something else." Does anybody else see it now?
I start to just like raise my arms and I just yell at the top of my lungs, "Comest at me, brother!"
And the sun finally sets. They're staying with us. They're going to be our heroes. They're going to be our heroes forever. Briv is our captain. Briv is the captain of the guard. He has to stay with us.
I think it's time we leave.
A captain is a Briv, and a Briv is a captain.
But it just became dark.
But they
think we
make
go
so
out-
much sense.
They also make so much noise.
They start
Riv,
growing
it is your
physical form
choice.
again. You can start seeing these wispy figures become solid as the sun has set.
Whoa.
I have unfinished business in the Cloakwood, so I am fine to return there.
It is bad in the day. It is only worse at night.
I am only worse at night.
Does that mean we're staying or going?
Can we split the difference? Can we just leave the town and sleep and then leave in the morning?
We can stay near the stone markers. It marks the edge of town, if you wish.
It seems like a decent compromise to me.
Okay,
Okay.
you're
All
making
we must do is close the portcullis. These ghosts don't even know how to leave. And then I start walking out.
Okay.
Well, Kira's right behind him. He starts to leave. She's like, if they were ghosts,
It's
I could
beautiful.
deal with them.
Penelope
Did you just say
turns
they are
as they
trapped
leave.
here?
Bye, everybody.
No, stay. You're a hero, and heroes need people to be heroes for.
I have to go be a hero somewhere else. But you'll always be my friend. Don't forget.
Friends stay. Friends are. What is a friend?
Uh-oh.
A friend
A
is
friend is
Penelope.
someone who would never leave you, but yes.
Oh, here we go.
Does everyone leave town?
I will bring up the rear to make sure that no one is left behind.
Yeah,
I just
they,
need to
When all are
clarify
gone,
something.
I will leave.
they all are huddling, and you now see kind of hundreds of them huddle as you guys are slowly backing out of the portcullis. And I assume, Briv, you close it down?
Riv.
What is it, Al?
Did you say they're trapped here?
I had not thought about it that way. I believe they just like staying here.
Well, we should clarify since there's a significant difference between being trapped and choosing to stay.
Well, I think that it is clarified because they want us to stay with them. Because it seems like if they wanted to go with us, then they would, but they don't. So they must be happy where
Have you
they are.
offered?
Of course we have not, and we shall not. We can't have a chorus of hundreds of ghost people walking with us everywhere we go.
Why not?
They're not ghosts. I can deal with them if they were ghosts.
Well, what are they? I apologize. We should not be talking over you. What are you?
Well, I am a librarian.
Oh,
I love
this again.
librarians. They're excellent people.
He's the captain
That's
of
what-
the guard. He captains the guard. I am an innkeeper.
I thought I was the captain of the guard.
They're pointing at you.
All is well.
I love that Briv is somehow hurt.
I want to stay.
so
Don't want to
petty.
stay. Friend. I'm the captain.
Wait.
Do you have the choice to leave?
Leave? What is the choice?
Do you like to be here? Do you want to be here? And if you did not want to be here, could you go?
We are a kingdom. A kingdom needs people. How could we leave if we're a kingdom?
Sometimes
try
people
just
for
walking.
a time.
We can try walking out.
Walk directly into that forest, yonder way.
But only if you so
librarian
choose.
walks past the threshold, and dips his toe outside the portcullis and stands outside the walls. I should not. I am a librarian. But there are those amongst us who would leave. I have to keep to the library. Perhaps our soldiers will leave to protect the town, to protect Karistan. We did not know we could leave.
You may leave, but you need to allow others to have their own towns and protect them as well.
Of course, people protect a town. We protect a town.
Those who choose to leave may and should.
Have
Yes.
these creatures taken the same form that they did before that we recognize?
Yes.
Okay. Alindra, do you recognize what these things really are?
Do I?
No. I mean, you'd have to make an impressive arcana check to figure out what these things are, but they are just some from your natural divination sense. They're of the Shadowfell, but they are not necessarily from the Shadowfell. They are almost like echoes.
Okay.
They're not ghosts, though, either. It's as if expectation got wrapped up in the Shadowfell and became a thing.
That's
very
a curious existence.
Be cautious. They are simplistic and single-minded. And they're happy as long as their existence is not questioned. We had a very bad experience in what was the inn here. One was shown what they truly are, and they grew violent and upset. I don't think these are creatures that could be outside of anything but here. I don't think they would even be happy.
Methinks
I
thou
believe that's their
remembers
choice to make.
differently, because I think that was a fine time.
Well, Verve,
It
you did
seems to
do an
me-
excellent job in that fight.
That the choice is not ours to make for them,
They just have
but
to know
theirs
they
to make
have
for
the choice.
themselves.
Aye.
I
What are you doing?
agree with you. I just don't believe they would want to make that choice.
I choose to walk outside and start to set up camp.
Okay.
I'm going to go to where Avrin is buried and start not desecrating the gravesite, but in a very honorable way, start to set up camp next to it.
Okay. You set up camp. You are not disturbed for the rest of the night. Everyone gets a long rest. I feel that's very likely everyone will be able to get their hit points back
Oh.
for the most part.
Yay, long rest.
I am going to reroll my portents for the new day.
There is
Eight.
you
And
feel
11.
a storm, but there's no rain and there's no lightning. But the tree, it is a heavy, like 30-mile, 60-mile-per-hour gusts even are creaking the trees as you take camp. But you are within kind of the close enough to the walls of Karis Dawn that the wind isn't like directly hitting the camp and blowing out the fire.
Before we settle down for the evening, I would like to perform my prayers of devotion. Anyone who would care to join me is more than welcome.
Of course. Who do you pray to?
I suppose you could call it knowledge?
What do you call it? I call mine Palor. I usually pray in the morning when the sun rises.
Here, I believe they call it Ion, but it's slightly different where I come from. I come I call him Ogma.
Am I familiar with either of those names?
The first one, yes. Agma, not so much.
Ayun. Oh yes. Okay. Of course. I would be honored to assist you in your devotions, and if you wish, you can join me in mine in the morning.
I would love that. I also pray in the morning. We perform 2 rituals a day.
That
So
seems like a
what we
lot of
do-
time to spend doing rituals.
It's important to reflect on the things we've learned and prepare for the day ahead. What we do
And
is
then if this is happening in earshot, I seriously just yell out, or you could just live thine lives.
Don't mind him. He's got his own god to enjoy.
He may practice his life as he wishes.
Exactly.
We begin by a passage from a work of wisdom or knowledge. And I think I will recite a passage about a philosophy on death here today to commemorate Averin. And then a poem or song. Would someone like to offer one?
Penelope is fast asleep. All this knowledge talk is making her sleepy.
Whoa, there
sit.
once was a man from Net. No. I shall spare thee.
Alindra does a short poem, and then the final thing we do is something we've learned today. And today I have learned that there is what have I learned today? Would you like to start, Akira?
Today I have learned that sometimes I am not able to save everyone, but that it's important that I go on.
That is wise.
I will sit apart from the others, near to where our friend is buried. For this is the first time that I have seen a friend die. I will, in reverie, think on this, and see that it does not happen again. At least not on my watch. The winter is cruel.
All right. You guys spend the rest of the night taking a rest?
Mm.
All right. You'll get a good rest, and the sun comes up, and the weather is fair. It's sunny. There are some clouds in the sky, but you feel relieved.
I do my morning prayers while making breakfast, just kind of under my breath. And so, Alindra, when you wake up, Kira would have been the first one up, and she'll already be like prepping some simple breakfast, and she'll be like, "Oh, hi, I'm almost done, and thank you for the sun, and have a good day." And then she'll just start passing out breakfast. She's like, "Sorry you missed it. We keep it pretty short.
Oh, that is much faster.
We're used to praying on the road."
And Alindra starts inscribing runes in the dirt and kind of meditating a bit.
I'll put the
And then
porridge
she's-
down like next to the runes and be like, "Hey, when you're ready."
And
Briv?
Alindra takes the porridge and kind of looks at it. Prestidigitation. Give it a little extra flavor, tweak it.
Briv, as he sees her do that, Briv walks past and sticks his big finger into it, and he kind of nods at you and keeps walking.
They don't know how to spice in the
and
Ninja
now,
Vale.
and now Alindra looks at her porridge and she sort of just sets it aside.
Penelope picks it up and goes, ooh, starts dancing with it. Morning dance, morning dance.
All
Okira
right.
will walk up
So
to
is this
Keen
the
with.
ritual of people? Morning
Yes,
dance,
we like to
morning
dance.
morning
We like to dance. We like to sing. We like to play in nature all day long.
Which clan are you from?
You know, the one that I'm from. That's okay. They weren't very nice to me. So you guys are my new clan. So okay, that's better. Okay, we're just gonna go on an adventure.
All right.
Okira will bring a bowl of porridge over to where Keen is and just kind of silently hand it to him.
All right. So, where are you guys planning on going after you've done wrapping up camp?
That's an excellent question.
We should return to the Count because he shall be fairly angry, I imagine, that it was Keen and no one else, destroyed the card. But he probably can help identify what's going on with this Gish situation.
That sounds like a good plan to me. We'll just have to
I'm
be
feeling
careful.
very
not to
brave
disclose
today.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize for correcting you. It's Gith.
Gith.
With a th.
Gish.
Th.
Right? Spells and swords. Gish.
No. Th.
Gith.
Yes.
All right.
So
Very
are we
well.
going to the Cloakwood today? Because I'm feeling especially brave.
Huzzah!
Well, if I remember, that was the quickest way through, or we could go around and just take a little longer.
We should go through it.
I like your gumption. Let's do this.
Okay, Keen, you lead the way.
I put the little one on my back. It is time to go through the wood.
Oh, he's
Okay.
going to be like that all day, eh?
I don't know. I kind of like his voice now. It sounds better. I don't know why.
So you guys start heading into the Cloakwood?
Yeah, we're
All
gonna
right, right back into the
find the
Cloakwood
two-
we go.
Yeah, the two
faster,
stones.
the
Follow the
better.
path. Go straight. Don't worry about the path. Leave it. If you keep going straight, find the other two stones. Something like that.
All right, you start entering the Cloakwood, and you start feeling again the oppressive nature of that place. There's a heavy weight to everything, and there's massive mushrooms, some of which have kind of a vague luminance, and strange vines and plants that you would normally never ever see, and lichen growing on the rocks, and you can barely see any daylight because of how thick the Cloakwood is. The Cloakwood is a place where the Underdark, what is underneath the ground, has been risen back up into the surface, and so everything feels alien and strange. Even the creatures seem unnatural. Even if they're harmless, they're unusual. And this is a place of extreme unsettlement. You do not feel like you belong, and you begin moving through the Cloakwood slowly.
This
I
is a
assume.
familiar feeling.
Keen, I take back everything I said. I want to go around.
The winter gives no choices. We go through.
Huzzah!
All right,
wonder
so
I
have
just
you been here
continued-
before?
oh, go
I'm
ahead.
carving Briv, like my name, into every tree that I have the time to carve into as we're going through there.
I'd imagine you stop and you get like half a B, and someone says, "No, come on." And then you get to another
is
tree
is
and you
it
get
Briv
like,
Heart's Briv with a heart?
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
I want this fiend to remember me.
As you
I shall return.
Yeah, you start moving through the cloakwood, and certainly you've gained some of adeptness at moving through it without alerting too many creatures. I assume we're moving a bit stealthily this time.
And I also will have Griff scout ahead.
Oh, good.
All right, Briv, make a stealth.
Briv is got his shield, pounding on it.
Briv's
Maybe we
pounding
should
on his
move
shield, and as
with-
you see this, you
Oh
see
my
colored
gosh.
lights in the forest, slowly descending. They're attracted
This
by the
reminds
noise.
me. This reminds me of the Feywild. Have I seen this before?
You've not seen anything like this before, but as Briv hammers his shield, you notice these things are kind of floating like jellyfish, and they're kind of green. And as they get closer, they start to surround all of you, and they have two little eyeballs sticking out. And they
Is it a
almost like
flump?
jellyfish. Yes.
Penelope is hiding inside Keen's hair. It's just
Briv knows what these are.
Is it a flump?
Yes.
Is it really a flump?
They're
Do
flumps.
we know what they are? Does Akira know what it is?
Briv definitely knows.
Briv goes
For
way
sure.
back with flumps.
What are these creatures?
This is a flump. I present to thee flumps.
Are they friendly?
Flumps. I start writing
Of
it down.
course they are.
Yes.
I mean, look at them. They're not threatening.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, friendly.
If you ask nicely,
You don't hear them make a sound, but they seem to be telepathically communicating to you when you hear this strange squeaky voice.
They said they're friendly.
Why are you hammering your shield?
because I am looking for the fiend that has defiled this place.
No. We're just trying to get through. We're just trying to. Oh.
Or we're just trying to get through.
They
There are too many to count. Too many things. And now they kind of look scared.
This is everything I ever wanted right here, right now.
So I value the counsel of the flumps, and I shall quieten down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Flumps, for helping us. Can you tell us, is there anything in this direction we should be warned about?
While she's talking, I finish this carving this time.
There are fiends near a pool not far from here. They are evil.
Is it in the direction we're going? And Akira will point.
Yes.
What sort?
Mm.
What sort of creatures are they? I actually will think this back to
Not as pretty
them.
as us. 4 legs, no eyes, angry. Cannot catch flumps.
I'd be pretty angry
We
if
should
I didn't
be
have any
quick
eyes
in
either.
this place.
I agree. The longer we stay, the more dangerous it becomes.
Right. We should keep going.
Quick and quiet.
We have seen your armor.
This armor you have seen.
Oh, they have seen the gish.
Where have you seen it? Floating pancake.
It's good.
Oh no!
What was that, Keen?
Where
It's hard
have
to
you
understand.
seen it?
He's pouting.
Floating pancake.
We have seen similar armor near the pool. The angry, eyeless ones will shove them. Angry to see them.
Oh,
How many?
Thumps do not know. We saw one.
Thank
Why
you,
is he
thank you.
carving into the tree?
Because he had to
wants
give
to
himself
remember.
something else to do.
Okay.
That wasn't banging on his shield.
That's fine. You're all very pretty.
Briv the Beautiful.
Thank you. You are.
You are just surrounded by the glow of all these floating flumps, just all kind of green, hovering around, just observing everything about you.
Do you all have
names? What do you like to be called?
Oh, there's so many of them.
No one has time for this.
We absolutely have time for this. This is important.
We don't have typical names.
All right.
Art thou a flock of flumps?
Maybe a
Is flock the proper
Cloud?
term?
cloud of
Constellation?
Their color suddenly
blessing.
changes, like, let's go now. And they go up into the air.
Something has scared the pancakes. We should move.
Oh, yes. Keen, go.
But
I move.
carefully.
Briv
I'll-
instinctively starts to
will
pound on
draw-
his shield, but he stops for just a second. And then he keeps going. Silently.
Okay. Who's heading up the front?
I'm in front if he is carving.
Okay.
I hope I finish carving, but I don't want to be completely in the rear. I want to be essentially in the middle of the party.
Okay. All right, you start moving around. Where are you heading? Are you heading towards the path you were going? And where the flumps told you something was?
We were told to stay on the path and to be quick. We would
Okay.
be wise to do so.
I agree.
Or maybe
No,
Nope.
maybe.
No.
Nope.
We already have a problem ahead of us on the path. I don't even want to imagine what is off the path. Let's deal with this bridge, Riv.
very well.
We're beautiful.
The beautiful.
I thought we wanted to know about the Gitta.
We do, and they'll be in this direction with a pool with something evil. So we should be
Eyeless,
cautious.
four-legged creatures.
With no eyes.
Oh, they can't even see. Shall be an easy battle. Let's go.
One of my
You would
battle
be
masters
surprised.
is blind.
All right. You guys are moving ahead?
Trying
Maybe
to get
with a
back to
little-
where we started.
Yeah, maybe with
With
a
caution?
little more caution. Yeah.
Okay, are we all being stealthy this time?
And Penelope, in your head, you hear, do you not travel on a creature? Or is Keen your creature?
Keen is my friend. Keen is my friend,
So
but he's strong. He protects me.
Do you
He's
have
like
an
a
owl?
fabulous pouting stallion.
Am I an owl?
No, do you have an owl?
Am I an owl? Oh, do I have an owl? I don't know. No,
Oh,
it's just me.
oh, interesting.
I can be an owl.
Must be different in different kinds. You can be an owl?
Mm.
Oh,
I've
then
seen
you don't,
one before.
you don't need one then.
Mm-mm.
What? Wait, what? What? How does that work?
I will show you in time.
I look forward to that.
You see a glowing light. You
Sneak,
see
sneak, sneak,
before you a pool. And you
Oh
see
no.
another glowing light rushing towards you, red.
I back
And
up.
it's another flump. And it just flies by you, goes, run!
Okay.
And back up into the air.
Briv the Bold does not run. And I just step
run.
forward.
Riv the
towards
Bold
pool.
stands by himself. We run the other way.
I turn around, like, if they actually do just run, I turn around and see that no one's there. And I then, being tactically minded, start to kind of go around in a flank, like in the position, kind of an opposite position from where the flump was darting at us. But I do want to lay eyes on whatever it was trying to run from.
Okay.
If they run and Briv stays, or Kira will just kind of be frozen for a second, like really unsure what to do.
I start to motion for her to, get out of the pathway at least, as silently as I can. Basically asking if she'll come over my way.
I trust Keen and Penelope to be able to handle themselves, and so I will stay with Briv and pad over to him.
Everyone,
I will guide the lower keeper and Penelope to the biggest, tallest, widest tree that I can, so that they cannot be seen. I will leave them here for safety's sake.
I need everyone to make. Oh, go ahead.
The tree. Oh, I want to enhance the tree with minor illusion to give us more shielding, and I will put my hand on Penelope and say, "It's not real."
Oh, but this tree is very real. See? Knock, 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 knock.
Yes.
Are there any dryads in this tree? It's quite a great tree. Dryad, hello. Okay, no, it's just a normal tree.
As you are doing all of this, I need a strange feeling. A wave pushes through the party, an unseen wave of energy. I need everyone to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
Oh no.
That is a 10.
I got an 18.
16.
14.
Yep. What's that? What's going on, Keen?
I believe that this tree is much wider than it was. And I think there's a dryad in it. And I am stupid. 6.
Hey, wait a second.
All right, everyone, 15 or below. Who? You all, as fast as you can, want to jump into the pool of water. And you are already only 30
advantage
feet away.
against being charmed. If that's what's happening.
Yes, go ahead.
I am
will
also
pretend this. No, I won't. I lied.
an elf. Do I get
there we go.
advantage as well?
Yeah, you both
18.
do. Okay, you succeed.
So only one person wants to jump in the pool.
Briv, I am bolting for the pool. And basically, I can't dive in my armor, but I am going to step up onto the edge, kind of turn around like a hero, and then step down into it. I'm fully expecting to hero land at the bottom.
Okay.
18 is my 18. It is now.
All right, you all succeed, but you see just Briv just run in all his armor and shield just into the pool in the exact way he described. And Briv, as you were sinking, slowly you see what little light there was above the pool, and you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you feel content and happy. And for a moment, in the distance, you see a face. The face of the person that you love in the water. And she fades.
I swim with all my might towards her.
When
Am I
he
in
does
liquid
this,
right now?
Huh?
Am I in liquid right now?
You are in liquid.
Yeah.
when he
Why did you-
does this,
And that, however, my heroes, is where we are going to leave. Till
It's okay, just leave
next
me. I'm
time
happy.
On Wednesday. That is where we're leaving off. But there is an additional scene. Somewhere in Karistan, as this is happening and the sun is setting, all the whispers come back up. and all the voices of the Shadowfell return their physical forms. And they're like, they left. They left us, our heroes. Why did they leave? But we can leave now. The heroes of the Vale said we can now leave. But how can we leave? They said that we could. We can leave now. We can go into the Vale. We can go there. But how? Who will tell us? We need a king. Out of the grave, a ghostly white form of Avron floats out, haggard and devoid of any color or essence, his eyes white, carrying his great sword, and he walks into the city that is just rubble. And slowly the Shadowfell creatures place rocks on the ground. And Avron looks sad and sunken. And he sits down on the pile of rubble. I am Avron. I am a king. A king is Avron. And that is the adventure, everyone.
Oh my god!
No.
Oh,
All right, we'll see everyone next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. I hope everyone had a good time. I had
told
the
you,
best
Keen,
time.
that another Avron would grow.
I'm so glad we left because the last thing Akira wanted to do was deal with Ghost Avron. Oh, it'd be the worst thing ever. I had to bury him, and now I have to banish him. Oh.
I just want to thank an absolutely amazing cast of characters and role players. You made my job so incredibly easy, and that's so lovely to just be able to sit back and watch all of you perform. Is so fun, and I hope everyone at home enjoyed themselves immensely. This was seriously one of the best times of my life just now.
Great
Thanks
GM.
to our
Thank
new
you.
Dungeon Master, Todd
Yay!
Kenrick. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And we get
I
to do
really
it next
appreciate
week. And thank you, Jen, for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jen. Thank you for
Welcome
the
back,
cast
Jen.
member who knocked it out of the park. So fantastic. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We will see you very soon. Till next time.